Hello, this is Sabika Syed and welcome to the print headlines. Bangladesh Nationalist Party or the BNP wins the parliamentary election, returning to power after nearly 2 decades. Party leader Tarique Rahman is poised to become prime minister as the country emerges from months of unrest and economic disruption. PM Modi congratulates Tarique Rahman on BNP's election win, emphasizing India's commitment to peace and prosperity in Bangladesh. The BNP thanks India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi for recognizing the election verdict and expresses hope that bilateral ties strengthen under the new government. Sheikh Hasina calls Bangladesh's elections a well-planned farce and demands fresh polls under a neutral caretaker government. She alleges negligible voter turnout across many polling centers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the Seva Teerth complex, which houses the PMO, National Security Council Secretariat, and Cabinet Secretariat. The motto, Nagrik Devo Bhava, is inscribed below the plaque at the new complex. A stormy leg of the budget session concludes today after heated exchanges over the India-US interim trade deal and former Army Chief M.M. Narawane's unpublished memoir. The Lok Sabha reassembles on March 9, and the 3-week recess allows standing committees to examine union budget allocations. Opposition MPs protest outside Makardwar, demanding Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri's resignation over alleged links with Jeffrey Epstein. Puri dismisses the allegations as baseless and terms them buffoonery. A man died at TVK Chief Vijay's rally in Tamil Nadu's Salem after suffering heat stroke. The 37-year-old fan, identified as Suraj, collapsed and was declared dead at the hospital. Authorities say an investigation is underway to determine the exact cause. Tamil Nadu CM M.K. Stalin credits 5,000 rupees each to 1.31 crore women under the KMUT scheme. The amount includes advance dispersal of 1,000 rupees monthly grants for 3 months and a 2,000 rupees special summer assistance. He also announces that the monthly grant increases to 2,000 rupees. A nurse who recovered from Nipah virus infection died of cardiac arrest at a private hospital in West Bengal's Barasat. Officials say she had been in a prolonged coma and she developed multiple complications. This marks the first Nipah-related death in West Bengal since 2007. Nagaland Deputy CM Yantungo Paton appeals for peace after arson and clashes between Naga Kuki villages on the outskirts of Dimapur. Police say the violence in Moawa village appears to be a local issue and not linked to the Manipur crisis. The 62nd Munich Security Conference takes place in Munich from today, February 13 to February 15 this year. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio calls it a defining moment as he leads the American delegation, calling it a new era. French President Emmanuel Macron and NATO Chief Mark Rutte stress differing views on Europe's security future. EU leaders agree on an action plan to restructure the bloc's economy amid pressure from the US, China, and Russia. Meeting in Belgium, Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says urgency drives reforms to boost competitiveness. US and Taiwan finalized a trade deal confirming a 15% US tariff rate and eliminating many Taiwanese tariffs on US goods. Taiwan also commits to major purchases of LNG, crude oil, aircraft, and power equipment through 2029. Trump administration repeals a scientific finding that greenhouse gases endanger health, removing the basis for federal climate regulations. It also ends emission standards for vehicles from model years 2012 to 2027. Trump administration ends an aggressive immigration operation in Minnesota following protests over 2 deaths. Thousands of federal agents, including ICE officers, conducted weeks of raids and arrests. UN General Assembly approves a 40-member global scientific panel on AI impacts in a 117 to 2 vote. The United States and Paraguay vote against it. Secretary General Antonio Guterres calls it a foundational step towards global understanding of AI. Kremlin says Vladimir Medinsky leads the Russian delegation at Ukraine peace talks in Geneva from February 17 to 18. The next round of talks takes place in a trilateral Russia-US-Ukraine format. Supreme Court grants interim bail to Shwetambari V. Bhatt, wife of filmmaker Vikram Bhatt, in a fraud case filed in Rajasthan. The case is scheduled for hearing on February 18. Atletico Madrid thrashes Barcelona 4-0 in the first leg of their Copa del Rey semi-final. The winner faces Real Sociedad or Athletic Bilbao in the final, leaving Barcelona with a daunting task in the return leg. Now in the T20 World Cup, Zimbabwe stuns Australia by 23 runs in Colombo in one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. Zimbabwe moves to the second in Group B while Sri Lanka leads the table. That's all we have for you today. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest.